This is Steven with Rabia and Andrew. We're presenting on the diet problem and the linear programming approach to solving it. The diet problem was one of the first optimization problems studied. During the 1930s, around World War II, the U.S. Army was motivated to find the cheapest way to feed soldiers while satisfying the necessary nutritional requirements. This encouraged study in the area, and a researcher named Jack Laterman used a simplex method to find that $39.69 was enough for a year's worth of food back in 1939. Concretely, the diet problem aims to find a minimal cost group of foods that satisfies a given set of constraints. There may be constraints on things like nutrition, taste, and environmental impact. There has been continued research in this area. Linear programming studies have been conducted to solve related challenges in humanitarian, health, and nutritional problems around the world. An example is Elaine Ferguson applying linear programming tools to solve micronutrient deficiencies in Indonesia.
The mathematical model can be developed as such to minimize the total cost of a diet. With a database of given foods, the serving sizes of different food items can be varied to create food combinations subject to 3 types of constraints: caloric limit, requirements for individual nutrients, and personal preference constraints. As a part of this study, our group has developed our own LP simulation model with foods that we regularly consume and prices obtained from local grocery stores. We created a food database of 30 foods that we would select our diet from. For each entry, we specified the serving sizes, calories per serving, the amount of carbs, fats, protein, and fiber per serving in grams. The cost per serving was also included. The linear program was solved using Excel Solver. The cost was minimized using the number of servings and cost per serving for every food. The blue box representing the objective function value shows the minimum cost for this diet per day. The daily caloric intake was modeled as an equality constraint to ensure that you consume the right amount of food every day. The nutrient constraints specify that the amount consumed must be either greater than or equal to the recommended intake. You can also include preferences in the model. For example, if I want to ensure that I consume at least 2 servings each of milk, fruits, and vegetables for one day, I can add that. The model outputs the number of servings of each food that you can consume to meet your constraints. The red boxes are the recommended servings.
As we mentioned in the background, the initial application of the diet problem was to design meal plans for soldiers during World War II. However, as computational power has become more readily available, we have seen a multiplying in the applications. One such application is the design of diets that are specifically targeted to reduce your risk of cancer. Another such application is the design of diets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. A key success of this is that LP has been able to create a diet that is closer to the current average U.S. diet, but that still maintains the same greenhouse gas reduction as vegetarian and vegan diets. A final application is the organization Food Aid has been able to use LP to design diets to target specific nutrient deficiencies within the people they serve.